What's going on, everyone? It's your average consumer, and today I got another comparison video for you guys of the Beats by Dre urBeats and the Beats Tours. So in this video we're going to see if the Beats Tours are worth the extra 50 bucks or if you should save it and go with the urBeats. So let's not waste any time, let's get right into it. Alright guys, here we have the case for the Beats Tours, and this is the case for the urBeats. Now I think they're both decent cases, but I must say I gotta give it up to the urBeats for their case. I believe the iBeats also comes with a case like this, but I am more of a fan of this because of how simple it is to get your earphones in and out of this. Whereas the Beats Tours case, this is the new version without Monster. The previous version was just a round circular case, but now they have this oval case, and it's an alright case. Getting the headphones in is not a big deal. The zipper is cool, so nothing gets loose. There's a little pouch here on the side that you can use to put other accessories like your clips or other earbuds, which is all pretty fine and dandy. You can also put all of those things in this pouch as well, so it's not a big deal. But it is a hard shell case, so it's pretty good for protection. Not that it's very necessary, since these are very foldable and they can be bent around, so it's no big deal. So but I'm saying I'm a fan of this a bit more than I am of this. I simply like how easy it is and how easy it is to travel with this. It's very flat. Even with the headphones in, it's not going to take up much space. Only gripe with this is that it's a little harder to open. As you can see, it's it can be a pain to get open, but overall I do like this case a lot more. Now that we have the cases aside, we have the two earphones, and first thing we're going to talk about is the design. Now I'm very happy with the Beats Tours in their design, and I'm also very happy with the urBeats. The urBeats does just give off a feel that it is the smaller version of the Tours. The Tours has a very nice design in that it can go right into the canal of your ear and really shoot the music towards it. And I'm really a big fan of this design. I do think that it does very well. The urBeats is pretty standard earbuds. They just go pretty straight, but I haven't had any issues with the design of these. I do think that these deliver the sound fairly well. And overall, I'm very happy with the look of both of them. They both got the nice B on the sides. I like the Tours a bit more because they seem a bit more solid. They're a little bigger. I do like that. I do feel that these are just like a more sturdy pair. They've got a thick tangle-free cable, where this has a slimmer tangle-free cable, but it's still tangle-free nonetheless. They both feature inline remotes. The urBeats does have the newer design for the inline remote. All of the current Beats headphones are using this kind of look for their inline remotes. Even though the Tours are without Monster, they're still sporting the older version of the inline remote. And I think that might just have to be a thing with the design of the actual earbuds themselves. They got the little silver accents around it, so that might be why they're keeping this look. But the urBeats, it goes hand in hand, and it does follow the newer look. Either way, they're both fine. There's no issues there. The only issue with the design aspect, in comparison, the Beats Tours are, because of their thicker cable, much heavier. Even though they're more sturdy feeling, they feel a little stronger. That comes at a price. These are a lot heavier. And what that translates to is, this means that the weight of the actual cords and all the inline remote and things like this little piece right here, all of this comes into play, and that means that this is a much heavier headphone in that it will fall out of your ear depending on your situation. So if you're walking around a lot and you're moving around quite a bit, there's a higher chance that these will fall out of your ears than the urBeats will. The urBeats are much lighter. They do have the thinner cables, and the little piece that puts them together here, this is much smaller compared to this thing right here. So of course, this is going to weigh it down more than this will. Now the remedy to the heavier cable is the actual little clip that comes with the the little clip that comes with the earphones, you can clip it onto your shirt or anything like that, and you don't really have to worry about that. But if you don't like using that little clip, there is a chance that these will fall out of your ear. So the design aspect, that is one of the flaws there. The overall look is good, but it's just a bit too heavy when walking around or having a lot of activity. In the newer version of the Beats Tours, the one without Monster does not include the little hooks that the Monster version came with, and those hooks were really great. I don't know why they took them out. I don't know if it had something to do with cost or what, but those hooks were amazing. And if I had to choose between the Monster version or the one without Monster, I'd definitely go for the Monster version if you have that option. So I would really recommend picking up the Monster version so you can get those hooks. That's just another little added bonus, so that if you're walking around, you don't have to worry about the earbuds falling out, or if you're doing workouts or exercise, that's going to keep them secure as well. The urBeats do not come with that option whatsoever, but overall this is going to have a better time staying in your ears than the Tours will. We spoke a bit about durability already. These are thicker and bigger cables, so these will in theory last longer. These should be a bit more durable. I feel like this material and this material, they're both pretty fine. This has a similar feel to the mixers, and this is just plastic. I don't see any problems with the actual earbud parts themselves. So as far as durability, it's really up to just the cable, and because the Tours have a thicker cable, I do think that these will probably last longer. I'm more afraid of the Tours pulling a snag on a door handle or something like that than I would be of the Tours. Now, one thing also, I guess you can consider this durability, but the cable of the Tours seems to get a little darker with time than the urBeats does, and that I'm not too big a fan of that. I do feel like these shouldn't really turn dark as fast as they do. I'm not sure if it's because of the kind of clothing I wear or if it's the case that does it, but I do find that this turns into a darker red than this does. So if you really like that big bright red, you might want to be very careful with where you're putting this or what kind of clothing or material you're leaning up your Tours against. I didn't find that to be quite as much of an issue with the urBeats. Now, to speak a bit about comfort, as I mentioned before, the Tours are a little bigger, so they are going to slip out your ears, which can lead to some pretty uncomfortable times when you're trying to get the earbuds back in position in your ear so you can have that tight seal so you can hear your music. So that is a big factor, but when that's not an issue, like let's say you're using your clip or something like that, or you're not walking around, you're just stationary, these will probably be very comfortable to you. I really like the design. I like how the earbuds go into an angle so that it goes directly into your ears. I'm really a fan of that. The comfort is great when you're stationary and not moving around, or when you have that clip on, but when you're moving around, this can be a bother. It can fall out the ears and it can get annoying after a while. And like I said, this didn't have that issue much. This was pretty comfortable to me. Walking around was no issue. These aren't heavy headphones, so they stayed in place. They kept the seal pretty well. I didn't find myself adjusting the ears too much, so I definitely think that these will probably win in the comfort department. But I do find that when using this sometimes, I do actually feel my ears rub up against the actual earphone part, which is a little weird. I can't say it's very uncomfortable or anything like that, but it is weird to feel that against my ears at times. So now we've spoken about durability, comfort, and the design. So the last and most important part is the sound quality. Now the Beats, both of these have some really great bass for in-ear headphones. They're amazing bass for bass lovers. You'll definitely enjoy both of these. I do feel though that the Beats Tours do offer better sound quality, and that's because you can hear vocals clearer, you can hear instruments clearer. So if you're listening to things outside of hip hop and all that the genre of music that really is really bass heavy, you're gonna have a better time with the Tours than you will with the urBeats. The urBeats have great bass, but they don't have as much clarity as the Tours. so you won't hear vocals quite as well as you would with the tours. Everything sounds a bit more muffled than you do with the tours. But that's not to say that these sound bad on their own. I think that that's just in comparison to the tours, these will sound like they're not as good. But I think for an overall experience, I do think that the tours are better for sound quality. They're just a lot clearer and they still offer just as good a bass. I think for your average consumer that either of these would be fine. So if you're just looking for a lot of bass, nothing too crazy, the urBeats might be a better choice, but I do have to go with the tours. I think the average consumer won't really see any of these as a bad pair of earphones on their own, but like I said, in comparison, you will see that the tours are better. Now, is it worth the $50 jump in price between the urBeats and the tours? It's really hard to say because I do like the urBeats and I do like the tours. So I can see someone living just fine with the urBeats, but is this a better pair of headphones? Yeah, I do think the tours are a better pair of headphones in pretty much most of the departments besides comfort. So, and that's not to say these are uncomfortable, but these are just, you'll have an easier time with the urBeats. But is it worth the $50? It really depends on you. If you really like the look of the tours and you think you'd feel a little bit more comfortable with the thicker cable, yeah, the tours would probably be a better bet. I would buy the tours over the urBeats. But if you want to save a little money and you're not too concerned with, you know, hearing really crisp vocals or anything like that, you just want to hear your music, you probably won't know the difference between, like, you know, really loud vocals or not, then you'll probably want to just save the $50, go with the urBeats. But I think that overall the tours are a better price. I mean, are a better choice. But if you want to save that $50, I wouldn't deter someone from just going with the urBeats and being okay with that. And overall, guys, that pretty much wraps it up. As I said before, my choice is the tours, but I can definitely recommend the urBeats over the tours if you want to save a little cash. So it's really up to you what you like in the design and all the other factors that I've covered already. And that pretty much wraps up this video, guys. This has been the comparison of the tours and the urBeats. If you like this video, please feel free to rate, comment, and subscribe. And I'll catch you guys in the next video. This is your average consumer. Until the next video, guys. Peace.